Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to Talking Town, the show created for fans by fans of Ipswich Town. Don't forget, watching live, get active in our live chat with your opinions. If you catch up if you're catching up, FTA, come with that algorithm, and if you're listening to this show on all podcast platforms, please do, whatever you do, leave us that 5-star review. And thank you for choosing and joining us on this Sunday evening's Talking Town post 4-1 victory. Joining me live this evening is the media mogul himself, Matthew Phillips, and Oasis superfan Lee Anderson. Before we get stuck in, this show is, of course, partnered with Match Bingo. Remember the word town, all in caps. I'll come back to that shortly. And Stowmarket Osteopaths, but more on both of those later. Remember, if you like your town, what do I say? News, views, fan opinion, and more. That's right. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. It helps us to grow. So why would you not just do it now? Just do it right this minute, all right? It's done then, isn't it? It's done, and you'll never miss a show. And if you'd like to go a step further, you can, of course, support the platform by becoming a YouTube member. $4.99, you get access to Discord, which is a wonderful feature, particularly on match days. You get extra content when I make it. Let's just slow our horses down there a little bit when I make it. You can, of course, head to our Ko-Fi page as well. Your details are on the screen, and you'll get early access to our merch store, which is on the way. It is going live very shortly. There's a little tease there just above Matthew Phillips's head. There'll be more throughout the course of the show. Matt's seen the page. He likes a few of the designs, which is a huge win already. I'll just put that there. It's a huge win that Matthew Phillips hasn't said anything negative yet about it. All right. Anyway, on to yesterday. It was excellent, wasn't it? There you go. There it is. There's a design. Look at that. One of them. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, right, on to yesterday. Wasn't it excellent? It was brilliant to see an away day masterclass. Nunes with 2 quality free kicks. Town winning 4-1. Pints and points were had in the capital. And we've got some excellent voice notes coming up, which, of course, you can leave us at any point, morning, day, noon or night, up at 2 in the morning for whatever you need to be up at 2 in the morning for. Leave us a voice message. 2 in the afternoon, whenever it might be. It's free. You don't have to leave any details. Just let it all pour out at Talking Town, which is what we're going to do right now as we get going.
Was I just pointing to the wrong thing?
You
was it there or was it there? I can't work it out.
It's somewhere over there. It's somewhere over there, Matt. Right, let's get going. It's Town in 60. This is your chance, the podcast version of the voice messages. Talking to yourself in the shower, screaming from the terraces. Let it all out here in 60 seconds. Tactics, players, fans, rants, praises, questions, whatever it might be. Let's start with you, Mr. Anderson, the Oasis super fan. The clock is set. 60 seconds are yours. It's Town in 60. Let's have it. QPR 1, Town 4. What is your Town in 60 today, Lee?
What a start. Absolutely fantastic start to the game. They kicked off. Next time they touch the ball, they're picking it out of the back of the net. Absolutely brilliant. The pass out to Egley, crisp as you would see, much faster start than we normally do with ponderous passes around the back. And Egley, he's starting to show his stuff now. He's getting a run of games. He's really starting to see what he can do. And he just left the ball back for toast, didn't he? Lovely crossing and a good header. Really, really good header. Pleased for Hurst. Just like McKenna said, we didn't then go on and really dominate the game. We stopped perhaps doing what we wanted to, but you can't control the game for 90 minutes. They got back into it. Should Walton have done better with that? I mean, it dipped viciously right at the end. Did well to get a hand to it. Could he have palmed it a bit further, around the post? No following up from the defenders. 1-1. Second half. Well,
60 seconds has been had. There we go. The first 60 seconds. That was it. It flew by. It flew. That's how well you were articulating those points. Really. And some excellent ones, which we'll unpack. Mike says, afternoon or decent performance yesterday without being spectacular. Still plenty of room for improvement, but a solid base to build upon. Richard Smith, if Egley and Hurst are genuinely starting to click into a partnership, then this could be the start of something beautiful. Adrian says, Gov is Nunes' new set piece coach. Hey, look, listen. Right, I'll do a Town in 60 very quickly. It'll be 10 seconds long. Mark Hudson had nothing to do with those two set pieces yesterday, but his statistics certainly went up in the right direction. So he's going to sit back, have a glass of whatever he drinks this evening, and enjoy watching those statistics go flying up Matthew Phillips, because it's 2 free kick goals. What's your Town in 60? Go.
Well, a good friend of mine supports QPR and had called me yesterday morning to say, Matt, go easy on us. And I was like, have you not seen our away form this season? I said, we've only scored 3 goals. All of them are not even an open play. 2 pens and a corner. So I was pleasantly surprised with how we started both halves, Lee. You kind of alluded to it there, didn't you? Within what? Actually, I think it was 68 seconds in the first half and the second half, we actually score. And as you rightly say, Lee, no ponderous passing. I mean, actually, if you look at our stats, I think we was bordering 500 passes for the game. Generally, that's alarm bells for Ipswich. It means we've not been able to break anyone down. We've not been able to have any exposure in the box, impact in the box, anything like that. Barely a shot on target. Yet yesterday, we saw the return of clinical Ipswich, the vintage Ipswich that got promoted out of this division 2 and a bit years ago. So a real relief to see that. Back-to-back wins. On to Watford on Tuesday. Can we make it 9 points from 9?
Oh, just in time before the bell. I love that. Sid Cup says things are coming together really nicely. Colin Egley, 19, footballing brand of a 25-year-old Gov, and Sneaky Squid. Nunes needs to start. He's so good with his set pieces, and we've been missing someone like him for years. Look, Ben Adams called it, I think, several weeks ago, but certainly as late as last week before. Nunes in that midfield 3 could be the missing piece, and it's coming to fruition. There are lots of love for Nunes. Dorset Blue says, despite the praises from Hurst and Nunes, Egley was my man of the match. He's getting better and better. And that's one player I can't wait to talk about this afternoon. It's Cinder Vali Egley and his contribution to yesterday, how he's growing. As Lee said only 2 weeks ago, when we brought Amari in, a young player, raw, and we watched him grow in that promotion season. And this could be the same story with Egley, and it's sort of playing out a little bit there. So 2 for 2, boys. We were right again. All right, 2 for 2. Let's keep counting. All right, because let's just keep counting them up. Right, flashpoints time with, of course, Match Bingo. Remember the word town, all in caps, because we've partnered with Match Bingo to give you a deposit bonus. Cue the celebrations. There's no soundboards. I can't do that one. Sorry. Match Bingo combines the excitement of live sport with the thrill of bingo. Your card's got 15 random events from a live football match, and you watch them get marked off as the game unfolds. Brand new way to enjoy live football. You must be 18 or over. Terms and conditions apply. And now you can get a 100% deposit bonus for using the word town, all in caps, when you deposit the minimum of £10. While it's bonus cash and it can't be withdrawn, the winnings can be. So get a 100% deposit bonus by using the word town, all in caps. T&Cs apply. Please gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. Over 18s only. Links in the description, or scan the QR code on the screen somewhere. I haven't got a clue where it is. It's next to their logo. Now, right, flashpoints. This is it, boys. Look, I'm so pumped for a 4-1 win. I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm literally not come off the ceiling yet. 4-1 away from home. My football club is back. The third goal, or was it the fourth goal, or the second goal? One of the goals will tell you that. From front to back to front, rather. Okay, let's break it down first of all. Town start really well. Egley beats his man. So that's an early warning to the fullback there of which way am I going to go? To the byline or come inside? Delightful little chip. Let's talk about Egley. The chat are loving him. I'm loving him. Matt, how good was Sindra Vali Egley yesterday for you?
Yeah, really good. I mean, impact in key areas when we needed him, didn't we? Within kickoff, within
Absolutely.
68 seconds, we just said, he goes, I can't say this geezer's name. Esquidina was the left back, I think. But he rinsed there on the right-hand side for us. I mean, it was kind of Premier League quality move, wasn't it? I mean, you got the O'Shea pass straight to Egley that goes past that Esquidina, lovely step over, beautifully flighted cross, and all the credit. I mean, I've been critical of Hurst, saying I don't think he's good enough to lead the line for us, and he certainly doesn't appear to have been over the last few weeks. But he anticipates that cross coming in, beats the centre half to it, little glancing header. To make it 1-0, but really good. As Lee said, none of this ponderous nonsense we get starting normally. Straight out of the blocks. Brilliant. And of course, like we say, that third goal, eventually Furlong gets the assist, doesn't he? But it was a great build-up play, and Egley was front and centre of that.
Yeah, and it's just so pleasing to see him very early, first 2 minutes, telling the fullback, look, you're in for a really hard day today because you don't know if I'm going to go to the byline, if I'm going to come inside. He can do both things really well, and he's growing in front of our very eyes, Lee. And something we spoke about on the show almost ad nauseum is starting fast. Town not managing ends of halves really well and not starting games particularly fast at times. But yesterday, you can't fault Town for how they started either half, because they came out of the traps flying, and to go a goal up inside 2 minutes, it's a great start to any game, particularly an away from home game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first thing is to say when the ball goes out to Egley, because it's gone out to him early, and I've said this before, he's got a little bit more space to be able to drive. But how many times have we seen the ball go out wide and then it goes back? It goes back, sideways and back. This time it didn't. He got the ball. He's got more confidence. And the great thing is now he can go both ways. So they've watched him a lot. I reckon when they've watched him and they're coaching the left back, they're saying, you've got to be careful him coming on his inside, because that's where he looks his most dangerous. We haven't seen a lot of him going down the outside.
No.
Second minute of the game, there he is. Slight drop of the shoulder, step over, whatever it was, and he's just he's wall-stranding with ease. Where he's going to get better for me is the power. He's going to have more power, and I think that's why we've invested in him as well, because he's 19, he's going to get bigger, he's going to get stronger, and he's just going to have that skill, but he's going to be able to just have that power to drive forward. And the fact that he can go both ways is going to be an absolute nightmare for fullbacks now, because they don't know whether to show him inside. He's going to curl one in, which he nearly did later on in the game, or he's going to be able to go down the outside. The other point is, just on the third goal, I know is that we finally see him furlong on the overlap that we hadn't seen. I don't think we've seen that from him much.
Not often, no. Not often.
Not often enough. Not when Harry Clark was doing it and others have done it. You think of the Burns wonder goal, similar sort of thing. But he acted as a decoy. But he's got that support now. The right side, the team's looking much more balanced. Only 2 weeks ago, we were talking about everything coming down the left. Yesterday, both open play goals came from the right. So,
and that third goal was beautiful. It's vintage McKenna. It's vintage Town. It's Town of old, and it's really pleasing to see. It's gone from Christian Walton all the way into the back of the QPR net. That's something we've not seen in itself in a while. And you could say, of course, being in the Premier League is a higher level. It's harder to do, perhaps, that type of thing when you're not elite players yourself. But it's such a beautiful goal, and it's a sort of goal that really you watch again and again and again. And it just a fantastic goal. And we've got Nick Muller, right? Mustard man Nick Muller, friend of the show. Love Nick, love his content. But you know what Nick's saying to us? Nick is saying, let's not get carried away. Nick, what are you doing?
We have been down this path before, Martin, straight after the East Anglian derby. Followed it up with 2 defeats. So there is that. But to do it away from home, I think was a bit of a statement. I think QPR had actually played more games away than they had at Loftus Road, didn't they? I think this was their 6th game. And I think we said last week in the preview show, had quite a good record. They weren't scoring a lot, but actually had quite a good record at Loftus Road. But I think it was a real statement win, really, 4-1.
Particularly off the back of a 1-0 home victory to West Brom. It's just, I'm so excited. And George Hurst particularly, we spoke about him on the pre-game show with Steve before the game. We spoke after the game. We've spoken about George Hurst over the last couple of weeks. And George Hurst grabbing 2 goals, Lee. A, it's going to do his confidence the world of good. B, it gets him back among the bread and butter of what he's here to do and what he says is his bread and butter. Just talk to me about George Hurst's performance yesterday. I thought it was magnificent, really.
Well, I think carrying on from what we said last time, that he's in the team because of his work rate. He does work tremendously hard, and he fits the profile of what McKenna wants his forwards to do. But he scored both goals. His goal that he scored from open play, one of the Portman Road run, I think Sheffield United. 6-yard box.
Through the keeper's legs.
Yeah.
That's through the keeper's legs. Man.
Yeah. Two headers, 6-yard box, crosses into the box. So we've got almost an old-fashioned centre forward. Yeah. He doesn't like to run. He can run in behind, but he doesn't do it enough for me. And I think that can be our problem when it's not going well. But yesterday, he was Johnny on the spot. I mean, I said, if we win 10 games 1-0, he's not gonna be Hurst the goals. He's not going to score many of those goals, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But to score those 2 goals yesterday, the first header was the best one. I mean, it wasn't even given on a plate for him. He could have easily knocked that over the bar, not got enough on it, but he guided it beautifully, the first one. And then, of course, the second one, it stood up, a different type of cross, stood up at the back post, and he just had more a desire that went just brushed the defender's head, and there he is to header it home, and should have been possibly played in for a hat-trick by Nunes, who had a shot that he could have slipped Hurst in there, and I think Hurst was the wrong side of the defender. He would have been in on goal, and I think there was a little bit of frustration when Nunes had the shot, because I think Hurst fancied a hat-trick.
Absolutely. David says 9 points from 9 coming up, Gov, as well as our merch store. I know I keep mentioning it, but I've been working on it since August, which is why you're seeing sort of blurry images at the top of Matt's head there. They're little teasers of what's to come. And David's been asking me about the merch store for months, bless him. And I've kept saying it's coming eventually, but you know me, I'll work to Gov time. It's going to be announced this week. It's coming up. Norman says Hurst joint leading scorer with Jaden and Clark. Nix, I would have kept Hurst Nunes on. They deserved a hat trick. All right, on to Nunes then, because Norwich City yesterday had an awful day football wise. They didn't win again. Seventh home defeat again. 5 tennis balls on the pitch as a protest. I mean, even we've had protests better than that with with Linen, shall we say?
Have they even got 5 points on the board? Sure.
No,
6,
they've got 7. They've got 7 because I looked yesterday. I think it's 7. Because I was going to make a joke about the tennis balls for each one for a number of points they've got, but sadly there was more points than tennis balls, so it must be higher than 5.
There was more tennis balls on the pitch than points they've got at home, goals they've scored all season.
They've got 8 points.
Goals. They've only scored. We scored 4 away goals yesterday, which is the same amount of goals that they've scored at home all season. There was more tennis balls. There was more tennis balls on the pitch.
Now that's the sort of content I come for.
And apparently, so what I've seen on their socials is that when the fella, because it was only one fella, when he threw
all 5.
Yeah, I think so. I think
was it a pack of 5 from Poundland?
I think it was one fella. But the funny thing is, all the Norwich fans were moaning because apparently it was their best passage of play in the whole game, and they were on top and something, and he threw them on at the time and broke their momentum. Is what I get, but you know. But
where I was going with it as a town platform, no, it's the sort of things I come for, because I was looking for jokes yesterday with the 5 balls and the points. But anyway, where I was going was obviously it got a little bit worse in the afternoon, because Marcelino Nunes, the player they sold for £7.5 million, scored 2 deliciously wonderful free kicks that secured Town all 3 points, when at a time of the game, perhaps it was looking like QPR had worked their way back into it. Half-time came. What was the second half going to bring? The Discord was in a bit of trepidation. What are we going to see? Well, Nunes stepped up and repaid some of that fee, because they were fantastic free kicks, whether or not Matt. And not just the free kicks yesterday. Talk to me about Nunes in that 10. Have we stumbled? And I don't mean stumble disrespectfully, but I don't know if he would have been first choice in that 10 with Akpom and Smolix both being fit. Have we stumbled a little bit into something here with Nunes in that 10, Matt?
Well, potentially. I mean, you did mention this last week, didn't you? You said you liked him in that role. And he has played there for Norwich. I mean, this is not a strange role to him. He has played there previously. But he has such good vision, doesn't he? And just that range of passing, to have that centrally, I mean, be it either deeper with Matasier or behind Hurst is brilliant. I mean, I was screaming out for him to shoot the shot, Lee, that you said should go to Hurst for the hat trick, just because he's such a threat in and around the box. Really, we've not really had. I mean, we've seen that from Jack Taylor in dispatches, haven't we? But not very often. But I mean, and actually, you're starting to see that with Eagly as well. I mean, as you rightly said, Lee, I think it was the 10th minute mark, or whatever. He cuts in himself, doesn't he? And has a shot that just goes over the bar. So in 2 new signings in Nunes and Eagly, you're starting to see people shooting from distance, which is brilliant. By the way, that Hurst goal, the second one, reminded me of the one at Everton last season at Goodison.
Oh, okay,
where
yeah.
it hung out in the air and the far post header really reminded me of that. It was really good. But this was obviously was a better move. But yeah, back to Nunes. I mean, maybe Nardi, the keeper, should have saved the first one really because he moves to his right, and then he's too far over then to get it. But it was really crisp strike, and I think I saw one of the online somewhere. Someone saying that's our best free kick, possibly our first free kick since Broadhead against Sheffield Wednesday, Portman Road. I mean, you couldn't have hit it any better. I would imagine QPR would be thinking their keeper should have saved that, but like I say, he moves to the right, doesn't give him an option. He's got to go back to the left. But beautifully hit. Colin sent me a photo of his seat at Loftus Road yesterday. He was right near the back row. He had a perfect view of that, so he would have seen that flying in as soon as it left his boot, which is brilliant. A little bit lucky with the second one potentially in that it hits that side toe, doesn't it, and goes in. I think that would have probably have gone wide. I think it was going to the right of the post, but you got to be in it to win it, haven't you? As they say. And he hits the shot and it goes in, and brilliant because set piece threat, as we keep saying ad nauseum, has been few and far between. Now you've got someone in the side that brings that in an abundance. And that then goes back to the other question. Do you want that guy to be sitting on the bench? You probably don't, do you? So, I mean, whilst there's question marks over when Smodics is going to return and Chaplin's at Portsmouth and Akpom in the 10 or 9, and there's now an injury to Ivan, Nunes seems to be a very good fit to play in that 10. But this is McKenna. Might not even be in the team on Tuesdays. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, yeah, and in all seriousness, I know people are telling us in the chat, you got to slow down one game at a time. Like Nick says, I agree with Nick. Daryl says, I agree with Nick. More bumps and poor performances to come this season. That's the nature of the Championship. Sam says one game at a time. Watford just beat Middlesbrough yesterday. New manager bounce. I get all that. And that is my little bit of fear, is what comes on Tuesday. Not who we're playing necessarily. It's who we select, how many changes. Because I feel like we've stumbled here, Lee, onto an 11 that are balanced. They complement each other from front to back to front. They complement each other. They bring the best out of each other. They hide their partner's flaws. And Nunes links it all up. And as Mike says here, a 10 that can play a pass, and not just that, a forward pass, but equally win you games when it's, when it's tight, when it's edgy, get you in the lead with a bit of brilliance. And I'm sure you shake your head there when Matt said about the goalkeeper, and I did too, but I want to hear from you. Matt says the goalkeeper perhaps should have done a little bit better. You disagreed. I could see it when you shook your head. He can't do much better than that, can he?
Well, unless he doesn't go on his feet. So I think goalkeepers, they go on their feet, and that's a very good impression of that. But I think, he's anticipated. I think most goalkeepers tend to jump a little bit to the right. I wonder if they give a little, because they've learned now, if they give a little bit too much if they give a little bit more to the left, then you're trying to second guess and make the person who's taking the shot go over the wall. So I think they tend to have that little bit of a stand to the left. But actually, when you see it from the angles, and when you see the angle that Colin probably had, he's hit that so true, and it's gone around him. You see, because he's got the bend on the ball, it's gone around his arm. So I'm not blaming the goalkeeper. You've just got to take your hat off to the strike, and just on Nunes, and the second one, he's having a go. But I mean, the guy who clipped on the wall, if he had a proper haircut, that wouldn't have hit his head, would it? I think he had quite a mop of hair on his head, and I think it's only just glanced him, but just enough to take the dip off the ball. But on the first free kick, they had a really high wall. I think they were expecting a cross. I really do, because they took the high people out of the wall, and the wall was lower, because I think they were anticipating how wide the ball was. I think they were expecting the ball to go in. So they had a 3-man wall, but it's gone over the head of the shortest person. But just pick up what Matt was saying about Nunes and such like, and the balance that you were mentioning. 2-3 seasons ago, when we had the League One promotion and into the Championship, the amount of times all of us were saying, we haven't got any threat outside the box. We don't shoot from outside the box. You look at the front three playing behind Hurst yesterday. All 3 of those are a goal threat from outside the box, and that causes. So we're not one-dimensional anymore. You say we used to have to try to walk the ball in the net, and when we had those defence versus attacks in the League One. You know, we were crying out for someone to be able to pop one in from 25 yards. About the only person who could probably do it would be Morsey, and that's not his natural game. So we've got that threat now. So defenders, what do? Do they stand off? Do they have to come out, leaving the space in behind? I think we're more, you know, there's more options on the pitch, and we're not just one-dimensional. Although we might pick a one-dimensional team, the threats are far more serious in front of goal now than we've seen. And that's the progression of the squad and the club from where we were 4 years ago.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I've been playing Nunes on the new Football Manager in the 10 role, and I've been loving the performances. I'm loving it. I'm bringing that up because we are doing a network save. So if you are a Football Manager fan and a player and you want to get involved with the Talking Town network save, it will be 2 nights a week. We'll move at probably a medium pace. If you do want to join it, check out the posts it'll be social media from tomorrow, on YouTube right now. If you do want to join us on the network save, no one's being Ipswich though. All right, we're leaving that to the AI. We're leaving that to the spreadsheet. We're being other championship sides, which will be drawn by the wall. But I am playing Nunes in the 10, and boys on FM in the 10. He's brilliant.
That means someone's going to have to be Norwich.
They certainly may draw Norwich. Yeah, yeah, that may be the first sack. I mean, you can if we've not got enough players, you can resign and be somebody else. We won't. Although you've got Josh Sargent, to be fair, which he has to find a way out of there, out of Carrow Road in January. He really has to. We're talking about goalkeepers. Let's move to our goalkeeper, because they did get a goal. Lots of conversation around, could Wharton do better? Should he have done better? How did you see that one, first of all, Lee? Because I think live, watching it on catch-up, I thought he could have done better and should have done better. And I've seen people say about, you know, our back four or our back three is going to follow that in. It's always easier for a centre forward. Take my word for this. If you've never played in defence, it's always easier for a centre forward to be running on to a ball than it is your back three that are facing the ball to turn and be first man to the rebound. It's always easier for a centre forward to be there first. But how did you see it, Lee?
Well, fair play to centre forward for following in. That's what you want.
So he's got to do. It's his job. Absolutely.
Yeah, he looked offside first, but he was miles onside, and it was a really good run, following the ball in like you're taught to do. The goal that we conceded tactically was very similar to how we do concede our goals. And what I mean by that is we lose the ball and we're not in any good shape. So when the ball goes into Hurst, I'm not saying it was Hurst's fault, because I think the build-up was more from the back. But when we got a back to goal and we don't turn the defence, if we lose the ball in key areas, they attack us really, really quickly. When you play the ball into the channels and you turn the defence, the ball doesn't come back so quick. So I think the way we play, I've noticed that a lot of the goals were starting to get done because we're losing the ball in key areas. And what actually happened was we lost the ball, came through, we played through quite easily. Egley gets back, comes inside, 2v2, but he lets the guy go a little bit for me. Was one thing, he didn't get close enough to him. The shot was a wicked shot. And I think as it really dips, it does really dip. It does really dip on Walton, and he's made a good save, because I think he's got it on the half volley on the ground. But you know, you would hope he would think he could have palmed that further away, not back out into the middle, because there's plenty of room there. There's no one around him. He could have palmed that away, and he was a bit Jekyll and Hyde for me yesterday. To be fair, I think he looked a bit dodgy at a couple of crosses, a bit like the League One days where they get people around him and he's flapped for a couple of crosses. But he made a really good save after the O'Shea error, where he got down and got his left arm and stopped that shot across it. That was a top save. That was a top save. So mixed bag for me, really, in terms of Walton yesterday.
Yeah, Mike D agreed with you just a second ago. Trevor says Walton could have done better, but he's okay. You just see Man City's goalkeeper make a complete blunder. Nobody is perfect, but he is you've always called him two-touch Walton, Matt. I don't forget. I keep receipts, my friend. Do not fear.
Yeah, this is going back to League One when I didn't like it with the ball at his feet. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
He's part of that Town-esque goal. He plays it out with his feet. But how did you see? So I know what Lee's saying there, and I know our chat. And it just feels like I said yesterday, a bit tongue in cheek. You know, we've had all this money and we've still got Christian Walton in goal. It's just, he's not our number one for a reason. And he made a good save. I agree with Lee. But he's got to do better with their goal. But we've won the game, so you kind of just brush over it, right?
Yeah. I wonder what his thinking was. I mean, it is a really wicked shot from Elias Chair. He's a really good player, him. I'm surprised he's still at QPR. I thought he might have gone on somewhere better. But and he saves it. I think he's probably what he's trying to do, Lee, I think, is probably steer it round the post for a corner. But it actually hits his forearm, which then, of course, makes it rebound into the no man's land. And Ipswich are always very static when the ball becomes central, as you rightly said earlier. We do concede a lot of goals this way. Be it crosses or keeper spills or whatever it might be. You really want Kipre to be, or O'Shea, probably Kipre. I think he was nearest, and so he had that Burrell who scores the goal on his shoulder to be a little bit more alert to the threat, because he could have got there quick first and booted it out over the bar or whatever for a corner. So again, sort of architects of our own downfall a little bit there. But it was a difficult shot for Walton to save. And like I say, I think he was trying to steer it around the post, but hits his forearm, goes centrally. Sometimes the keeper's only as good as his defence. And if you've got statues in front of you, and as you rightly said, Martin, you've got that Burrell just running, anticipating. We used to get taught that as kids, didn't we? Anticipate the keeper making a mistake, spilling it in a 6-yard box, you got to tap in. We've done exactly that. Just routine, isn't it? Basics. And they get back onto level terms. It was a bit of a worry then, wasn't it? Because they started having a bit of a spell.
They did. That's the thing. They did. Yeah. They did. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, there's always question marks around Walton because he is the second choice. Brought in to be first choice, of course, as you might. I mean, look, his debut was the 5-2 against Bolton, wasn't it? So I mean, he never got off to a great start. I'm not very confident with him at corners either. I mean, there was a couple of chances yesterday. There weren't actually many corners in the game, was there? I think QPR had 3. I think we didn't even have more than 2, I don't think. But in the game against Bromley, we conceded from a corner when Walton kind of flaps it, didn't he? So I'm never
quite decisive enough for me, is he?
Yeah. Given how tall he is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a debate on Discord today. So everyone's saying, well, one of the lads on there saying, well, our best keeper's playing in Italy at the moment when you're talking about high takes.
I would agree. And we had this debate
strong stats,
running, didn't we?
They were strong stats last season for Muric. I mean, he had very strong mistake stats as well, which is why he's not in the blue shirt anymore. And that's why he's in another country. Yeah. But you've got to think, when do we think Palmer's going to come back after the international break, hopefully?
Possibly,
Fingers crossed, and then presumably back into the side. But listen, we'll all support Christian Walton whilst he's in the net.
Absolutely. There's your flashpoints. We've got From the Stands coming up, which is obviously our voice message service. I've dropped the link should you want to come on and have your say. Lads, before I play the voice messages, is there anybody else you want to pick out from yesterday's win and discuss, or are you happy to let the voice messages guide you where perhaps they take you? It's entirely up to you two.
Let's go to the speak pipe.
Yeah? All right, let's do it. So it's From the Stands. Here we go. We have got some voice messages from you wonderful people. Get them in. Morning, noon or night. Any opinion, any question, rant, praise, whatever it might be. This is your chance to have your say. Free. Totally free. I believe it's totally free anyway. If it isn't, sorry, but I believe it is. And you don't have to leave any details. Right, here we go. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's do it.
Carlsberg did Saturday afternoons. I think that would be a big seller. What a wonderful day it's been to see Norwich struggling so horribly. Ipswich ending their run, their wait for a win away from home. And Nunes scoring twice, just the cherry on the cake. Marvellous stuff, and long may it continue.
Hey, lad, Bjorn here. Thought, come on. Hi, winning away, get in. Egley, quality, absolutely quality. Jackie Taylor. I mean, Jack Taylor becoming Smodics we thought we got. Weird times, but all good. Played really well. Thought defence was all right. O'Shea had a couple of weird moments, but I think him and Kipre are going to get better and better together. Brilliant. I mean, Halloween has come and gone, but there were no scares up there. Nothing but treats, really. After all the bangers we've seen today, I'm going to go and watch some more bangers with the little man at Christchurch Park tonight. Fireworks isn't even out the way yet, but is it too early for Christmas? Let's just say it like this. 5 tennis balls, 4 goals for Town, 3 points away, 2 for 9s and 10s, and Town finally win away. Up Town. Have a good weekend.
In your head, Nunes, Nunes. At last, we've got that ill-fated away win. I must admit, I wasn't expecting it. I would have been happy with the 1-1, and that's what it was in the first half. But we came out in the second half, and that was just like the town team of old. And we had a passing game. Yes, some things went awry, but yes, it just seemed to be that a combined effort all round, right from goalkeeper forward. The defence, yes, needs. It wasn't 100%, but that was an improvement. But our midfield, forwards, and had difficulty from where the majority of the town fans was standing. That we couldn't see the 3 goals in the second half. Well, a lot of us couldn't. So came home and watched them again, and well, what 2 fantastic free kicks from Nunes and 2 great other goals as well. Hurst. What a good afternoon. There was the combination, there was the link up, the passes, everything was going right. QPR fans were starting to leave after the 63rd minute. And yes, that was a good day out, and 3 important points.
There is your voice messages for this week. That's me getting a copyright strike. Thank you very much. Lovely guitar, but that's me getting a copyright strike courtesy of YouTube. Great. Excellent. Love it, though.
Yeah, very good again. But I'm pretty certain he's not going to play Tuesday. Hence the reason Cahuste didn't get any game time himself yesterday. So I think he might be sat down Tuesday. But he's done very well in the last 2 games. He was good against West Bromwich Albion. He was good yesterday. I think he had something like 4 or 5 passes into actually the final third. So actually showing some attacking threat, which he does bring to the table a little bit more than what we've seen with Cahuste. That's a bit harsh on Cahuste. I mean, I used to say he didn't have no attacking threat at all in the Premier League, but we have, a level below here in the Championship. You have seen him come to the fore a little bit more. But we know Taylor can do that. That was one of the reasons why they signed him. We used to have this eternal debate, didn't we? I think he's better get moving forward. Well, you're kind of seeing that in the role, but I think the fact that I'm right in saying Cahuste didn't come on yesterday. I'm right in saying that. I think we'll be Matasira on Cahuste on Tuesday night against Watford. But great that he's been on the periphery for a long time, Taylor, hasn't he? Wouldn't really feature that much, other than the goal he scored at Molineux. We've lost their manager today, I see. Pereira been sacked. Yeah, he's been sacked. He got that great goal, didn't he, at Molineux? The absolute scenes, the limbs at the end of that. But he's been kind of on the periphery for the last sort of year plus, hasn't he? But it doesn't help that we've got options in midfield. So Matasiwa seems to be the staple, and everyone else is going to be filling in. But I guess there's opportunity there while Nunes if Nunes stays in the 10.
Yeah, Mike D. Look, Matt, unlike the Talking Town community to ever keep receipts of bad takes, but they've seemingly found one down the back of the sofa this afternoon because Mike D says, "Hold on, Gov, you were wanting him sub yesterday, Mike. I told you I wavered. I never left. I wavered. All right." I wavered. I didn't leave. The
Discord, I've got to say, Brian, I looked at the Discord at half time and it was like end of the world job. And then you go there at full time. Everyone just thought we've won the Champions League. That's how everyone was floating.
That's
yesterday.
the life of a football fan, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. And Nagan Liver says, and in the 70s and 80s, they used to play every single week, and in the 90s and the noughties, I remember as always used to have same subs on the bench. Great point. All right. We've got Colin joining us now. Colin, welcome in. What are your thoughts following Town 4-1 victory against QPR?
Well, very happy. I mean, I went on Alex's channel yesterday and I forecast 2-1. But very, very pleased. I did think we started very, very well, and we obviously got the early goal, and then they equalised. And I thought we played really, really well for that first 15 to 20 minutes, but then they equalised, and I thought, we did well, to be honest, to keep in the game and to get to half time 1-1, I thought. But we came out, and for once this year, especially away from home, we came out with a lot more determination and grit, I thought. We was hunting the ball down. We was really looking like an old Ipswich, the old Ipswich McKenna team. And I was very, very impressed with the second half. There ain't many teams in this league that stay with the second half. Play very well. But like I was saying about Egali, I did put on the chat, I've always liked the number 8 shirt, Town. Yeah, we've had some great number 8s there. Bill, John, we've had Mirren, we've had Holland. Walkie played in the 8 shirt in the cup final, believe it or not. So there's been some really great players wear that shirt. And I said not long after he joined us, and everybody was worried about him and everything. And I'd seen him a couple of times, and it was just that touch. He's got that touch. He's got finesse. He can go past the player either side. And like I said in the chat, I honestly think it's only a matter of time before one, like we see on the videos. I think one pings into that top corner because he's had quite a few efforts and they've been blocked. But I think that'll only be a matter of time before he puts one home. But Nunes, like Agueli and Nunes, were just different on a different level. I thought yesterday, especially in the second half, and like I say, if we win the game in hand, then it won't be easy. I mean, Blackburn went to Leicester yesterday and won 2-0. So they're no mugs. I mean, I know they're low in the league, but they're no mugs, and I don't think it's a gimme, Gov. Do you?
No game at this level is a gimme. I'm being quickly reminded of that every single week, and it'd be interesting. Look, it was a great win yesterday. It was an away win, which is rare for Town, and it's good to get off the mark. And Mike D says, "Cole, don't forget about Calvin Phillips when you were listing your midfield players there."
Missed him off, Colin. You missed him off.
You missed him off.
Oh my goodness me! Oh dear, sorry, Calvin.
And Mabby says, great to create down the right and not have to rely on the left. Egley getting better and better. And I know you've got a lot of love for Nunes and Egley. Anything else, Carl, before I let you go? Because we're going to round up the show very shortly.
I'd just like to say, I saw in my son today, I always like the goals, in the sun, the goals bit. I had a bit on Norwich today. I think I sent it to you, didn't I, Matt? And I had L, right? And I thought, now what? I thought I was reading goals. And then I thought to myself, well, perhaps it's, one of those adverts for a driving instructor, learn the drivers. But then I realised it was Norwich's form.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, bless him.
Bless him. There you go. Colin, we appreciate
by the
you
way,
coming.
Just lastly, little message for Chris. You know what I mean? Just a message for Chris. I only say his surname. Is the statue built yet?
Well, he deserves a statue after them free kicks, Colin.
Well, there you go.
Build the statue. Colin, we appreciate you coming on the show. Look after yourself. Have a great
day. Bye-bye.
All the best. And that's obviously in reference to the tweet, isn't it, of Nunes and building the statue. David has been very generous. David, thank you so much for your generosity. It's truly, honestly appreciated. Thank you so much. He has gifted 5 lucky people a Talking Town membership. Thank you. And he has chucked in a super sticker worth €20. So David, again, thank you so much.
That was a great gag from Colin there, by the way. That Norwich City film, all the elves, more elves than a driving school.
It was a good one. Mike D says Ultimate Gov Trap game on Tuesday. It certainly is. We're back live tomorrow night 8 p.m. to discuss it in our match preview. So join me and 2 wonderful contributors live at 8 p.m. as we break down and look ahead to Watford. As we do, fellas, don't forget we are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths for quality care since 1985. Osteopath and physiotherapy services in Stowmarket. Call 01449613633. Freddie's the governor there. Tell him the Gov that Talking Town has sent you. Right. Anything else before we leave, gentlemen? Anything you feel like you've not got off your town chest this evening? Matt.
I don't really want to finish on a negative, but that 38th minute passage of play.
But he's going to anyway.
Matty tries to trap the ball. O'Shea thinks he's got loads of time. Kone got the ball. Bolton does make a great save off that Kone shot, Lee. You're totally right. And in Furlong plays it to Taylor. He goes and he makes a good pass to Kipre and he goes out for a corner. I mean, this is the eternal conversation I have against better sides. we shoot ourselves. We're going to shoot ourselves in the foot there. I mean, if we can just get that right. I mean, it's so easy for me to sit here and say that. Defensively, we're still a bit sloppy. I mean, going forward, just fantastic. The 4 goals, brilliant. The free kicks, the Hurst headers. He's got his confidence back. Wonderful. We do need to tighten that up because we're the architects of our own downfall sometimes. As I said earlier, when we're statues on the rebound from for Burrell to score.
You are right. Go on, Lee.
Sorry, when the ball goes into Taylor, if I'm passing the ball in like that, even at schoolboy level, you're coaching the player when he passes it in to tell him to turn. Turn. We passing the ball, turn. It didn't happen, did it? It was almost like it was all rehearsed, and he's just kicked it. And I'm thinking, oh, they're going to blink and score from this. But going back to what, but it goes to the point that Colin made really that you know we got to half time without conceding again, and that's a positive. When we've conceded before, you know, the games we lost before the back-to-back defeats. When we had bad spells in the game, we kept conceding, but we didn't. We conceded the one, but we didn't concede anymore. But just one positive note for me.
Please do. I was going to ask you. Please let us end on a positive. Well, Mr. Negative over there.
I've got another positive to finish.
You had your chance now. Sit down. You had your chance now.
Well,
no, you had it.
The positive for me are the phone-in messages. I think they're getting better and better, and just encouraging people to get in. So I had a few drinks last night to celebrate, and it was like 2:00 in the morning, and I nearly was going to start.
Oh, you should have done.
The phone. I know I should have done, but I didn't. But I'm glad that others have done. And then the links in the five tennis balls down to this is all thoughtful stuff. You're not going to get this on any other podcast. You're just not going to get it.
He knows his onions.
It does. It's just brilliant.
Onions.
Just more people. Just keep them coming. Just keep them.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm looking for someone that can do, the one where they go, you took a hell of a beating. You can go Delia, and I want someone who's good at that sort of. Someone who's going to come on with that, please. Because
we had that after the Norwich game.
Coleman Mustard Men.
Yeah, the Coleman Mustard Men. Yeah, I love them. I agree. I absolutely love them. I'm really pleased we've started this service. I encourage everybody to make use of it. Another positive for me, obviously, I'll say it again. Been working on it since August. Merch door launches this week. Members get a discount. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for it. It's a big bonus for me. It's finally off my plate. I've done it. I can tick it off the to-do list. Go on, Matt. I know you're itching, and if I don't do it, I'll get WhatsApp messages all night long about why didn't I let you in with a positive. So go on.
I'm sure people are going to be debating in the show tomorrow about whether or not Kipre will stay on the left-hand side or Greaves will come back in.
Very true.
And I've been a bit critical of Kipre. And as I said before, I don't want to be critical of him because if ever to encounter him outside Portman Road, he could use me as a toothpick. I actually think his defensive stats were really strong yesterday. It's easy for me to say and be critical on some of the mistakes, but I do want to finish on a positive. He had 8 clearances, 4 headed clearances, 1 interception, 2 recoveries, 2 out of the 3 ground duels he had. So again, he was when needed in that kind of, I've been isolating him on those mistakes, but across that 90 minutes, actually, he was really solid. So it'd be very interesting to me to see if he retains his position against Watford on Tuesday night. Certainly those stats would suggest it, but that's frustration for Greaves, isn't it?
The one second half where he cut out that cross from the left for a corner where he was that was almost like a last ditch. That was a decent clearance, but he could have easily. I mean, on another day that could have flown into the net, not without any fault of his. But that was a really good, clearance, and you've got to have that to win away from home. We know what it's like when we got promoted from the Championship last time. In the close games, you've got to have that, and we know. And we've seen it in the last 2 games. The 2 before that we hadn't. So it's a real positive moving forward.
It could be a tough game Tuesday. I mean, I was dipping in and out with TalkSport on the radio yesterday, and they did a number on Borough yesterday.
They did.
Really good. Their captain, Louser, very good player in midfield. That's going to be a very interesting battle, him and Matiswa.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah. Thanks for the positive you've ended on there, Matt. It's good. We are live again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for our match preview, where we'll go into Watford. We'll discuss who should play, who may play. I mean, who knows anymore? But we'll discuss it all live tomorrow at 8 p.m. So do join us then. And of course, match reaction after Watford. Live again on Wednesday, looking at Watford. Live on Thursday, looking at Swans. It's a busy week here at Talking Town Towers. So come and join us every show you can. And if you want to get involved, leave your voice messages as Lee Anderson just expertly and totally free of charge promoted you all to do. But until tomorrow, you take care. These two have been absolutely wonderful. You've been an amazing audience as always. Thank you for joining us, whether live or on catch up or listening on audio platforms. Take care. God bless. All the best. You've reached the end. Thank you so much for watching. Hit here to subscribe. It's totally free. And hit here for more Talking Town videos. I'll see you on the next one.